Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Once again, we are back. We're live. For those of you who are just tuning in, my name is Ray Destin Jr. I'm the founder and CEO of BOBM Publishing LLC, with full service publishing house that helps authors with everything from the creation, the idea, all the way through to the launch. Been so successful with that the last over 300 authors, actually 330 to date, have all went number one on Amazon. Um, 57 of those have went international bestseller, and 20 of those have went number one international bestseller. So I just want to jump in because I'm excited. I've been missing you guys. It's been a few weeks since I actually did a live for you, and I promise to give you content that is going to take you to the next level. That's going to make sense and help you as a new or experienced author to be successful as an entrepreneur, right? Not just as an author, but as an entrepreneur, an author who has also learned how to turn that business into something that makes sense for them in the long term. So the topic for today, and I got a few announcements towards the end, so you want to stick around because you don't want to miss any of these announcements. They're all good news for you. They're good things that'll help you long term. But today we're going to talk about things that you need to do before your launch. Now, why would I even talk to you about things that you need to do before launch? Again, as I said, you want to make sure that your launch comes off as being extremely successful. And so the only way to do that is to do the groundwork. You got to lay down the groundwork to make sure that when that launch hits, there's actually an audience there for you to launch to. But a lot of people think, well, everybody knows me, so once I put the book out, people are just gonna go and buy it. Let's get that myth out of your head. That's the first lie that we tell ourselves, that everybody's going to go and buy and support. The second lie is, I have a lot of friends and family, so as soon as I put it out to them, they're going to support me. Again, get that lie out of your head. I've launched several books, and I can promise you that even with more than 100 plus people saying, "Hey, I'll be at your event," there's been events where there's been as few as 3 people at a book launch. But we've also had a lot of extreme success with in-person launches as well as virtual launches. So I want to talk to you about what it is that you need to do to prepare yourself for the next steps. How do you prepare yourself to actually get these people in and make sure that you sell those copies of your book that you're looking to sell, right? So let's go ahead and get started. One of the first things we need to do is to build your audience. And when I say build your audience, I'm not talking. I'm actually talking with some basics. And again, I'm going to go high level and I'm going to come back. First thing is friends, family, co-workers. Those are your easy targets. Those are people that you know already. That's your warm market. Second thing is groups. Where can you find those groups? I'm about to break that down for you in this live video. Next thing is building an email list. Most people these days that are in professional development, that are in marketing, that are in business in general, know that we live and die by our list. If you don't have a list, you don't have a list. You don't have an audience. Next is the type of content that you need to put out there. And when I say content, I'm talking just some basic stuff that I'm going to give you that will build the exposure and start creating a buzz for you. Next is a possible media tour. For those of you who are actually interested, we can break down how to create a media tour and how to get more media exposure for yourself as an author and as an expert. And then the last thing is, who do you invite? Who do you invite? So let's go from the top back to the bottom. And for those of you that are tuning in live, I want to say thank you. Really appreciate you taking the time to be on the live with me. But let's go from top to bottom. How do you build your audience? First things first, friends, family, and coworkers. A simple letting them know, hey, I got a project that I've been working on. It's something that I've I've been working on for however long you've been working on it. For some authors, it's I just decided I wanted to write a book, and they write that book in less than 3 to 4 months, and they're ready to launch. Other people have been thinking about writing books for as many as 10 to 20 years. And I've talked to a lot of these authors who said, you know what, my story is so phenomenal, but it's going to take me a while to actually get it out. I don't know where to start. I don't know who should be in my audience. I don't know how to even begin to write my book. So when you let people know, let them know your journey through it. Be transparent. This is a project that's very near and dear to my heart. What I'm going to be talking about is, if you're talking about motivation, let them know it's motivation. I'm telling my life story. I'm telling about my triumphs with in life. I'm talking about when I played a sport and I won the game. I'm talking about how to become better in business. There's a lot of people that need to know what you have, but they don't even know that you exist. So start talking to your friends, your family, and your coworkers, because most of them only know you at the surface level. They only know you for the person that shows up to the job every week, or the friends and family only know you for the person that sat around at the kitchen table, or sat around the card table, or sat around at the family reunion. They don't have that deep understanding of all your skills and talents. Let them know what you're getting ready to do. The next thing is groups. When I say groups, I'm talking about different organizations. If you are a social media person, there are social media groups specifically for authors all over the place. There are groups on LinkedIn. There are groups on Facebook. There are hashtags on Instagram. There are talks on Twitter. Get involved in some of those groups. Get involved in some of those conversations, and let people know that you are let them know that, one, that you're there to support them. So when somebody mentions, hey, I just dropped my book, or I've been working on this project, show them some support. Let them know, hey man, congratulations. That's a huge feat, because I've been working on mine as well. You start to build those friendships and start building those bonds with other people who are like-minded, who are just like you, who are thinking about writing their books, or who have already written their books. Connect with them. Comment on those posts. Talk about the things that they're talking about, and get engaged in the conversations. It's almost as though you walk into a party and all you're talking about is yourself. Nobody wants to be around that person. So you get involved in those conversations by celebrating others. The more you celebrate others, then you start slowly dropping information about your project. Hey, I've been working on this. I've been working on my book. After you've liked and commented on maybe 5 to 10 posts, now it's time for you to start building those relationships with people outside of yourself. And those people outside of yourself that are in those groups will begin to support you, because authors love supporting other authors. Poets love supporting other poets. Children's book authors love supporting children's book authors. Whatever type of book it is, you need to be involved in those different groups, not just author groups, but get involved in groups that are part of your niche. And when I say part of your niche, what do I mean by that? Get involved in those groups that are specific to the things that you want to talk about. If you are a domestic violence survivor, then you need to be in some of those support groups where people are talking about their stories, because you can learn a lot about the pain that they've experienced. You can learn a lot about the fears that they've experienced. You can learn a lot about the life that they've lived, and see how comparable it is to yours. And when you let people know, hey, I'm writing a book about my story, what they're going to say is, man, you know what? You got such an amazing story. I can't wait to read it. Let them know what you're doing. Start building your email list. When I say build your email list, this one is a little bit trickier. So I'm going to go high level, and I'm not going to give you all the details on this. We'll talk about building the email list on a completely different call. But if you are looking to build your email list, some of the things that I've seen to be extremely successful to start growing an email list: offer a free giveaway. Hey, for anybody that wants the first chapter of my book, or anybody that wants a PDF of some of the things that I'm going to talk about inside of my book, then I would love to get your feedback. I just need your email. That allows you to start building an email list that you can start start sharing your content with for the time when your book is getting ready to drop. Um, Also, with that free giveaway, that allows them to say, hey, yes, I do want this giveaway. And then it gives them the option to either opt in on your email list or to opt out because all they wanted was that first chapter or they wanted that free giveaway, whatever the case is. Um, but start building your email list. The more people that you have that are interested in the content and that are interested in the things that you have to share, the better it's going to be for you. Because again, that gives you more people to market to and more people to let know when your book actually comes out. You're actually building your pre-sale list by building a strong email list, right? Content. What type of content do you want to drop on a consistent basis? Things that I've seen that work well. Live videos. Just do a quick live, check in. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm so excited. You can have a live video where you're sitting at the computer and letting people see you working on your project. You can have a live video where you're sitting there and you're reading an excerpt from your chapter. You can have a live video where you're sharing content and information about the content that is going to be inside of your book. All of these things, all of those different types of live videos will help because it gives people a chance to meet you, gives people a chance to know you as a person. So if they fall in love with you as a person, they'll fall in love with you as an author, right? A few social media posts. When we launched the latest project that we did, The Winning Mindset, this book actually went number one in multiple categories. We launched 3 books in one day, 3 books in one day. And the way that we did it was each author, we did a quick excerpt from each one of those authors, and each author was able to share their excerpt with their audience. They were able to share it in different places that they are, because that builds out in an even larger audience. So if you drop a quick excerpt, maybe you're talking about the content of the book. If you don't want to go live, these content videos are really good for you. You can talk about what the subject actually is. You can talk about what this book means to you. You can talk about your journey to writing this book. You can talk about some of the things that you learned along the way. You can talk about your expertise in different things that are going to be inside of the book without sharing the exact content. Each one of those things, what it does, and when you share those excerpts, make sure you have an image of the cover with it. If it's a 3D image, it's even better because it looks like the actual book that people are getting ready to experience. There's a few places that you can get that 3D book made. You're more than welcome to reach out to us, and we'll get those 3D images made for you and some actual branded content for you, so that your delivery is branded for your specific audience and it's branded for your perfection, right? Podcast. If you have if you have a book about a specific subject, again, it can be about your life, it can be about your life experiences, it can be about a subject that you are an actual expert in. If you have any of those things that you're writing about, then when you drop a podcast, that podcast, you can invite guests to talk about the things that you are talking about in your book. You can invite people that you've allowed to read your book before it's come out, and y'all can talk about how the book impacted them. You can talk about you can get some of their expertise on the subject that you're sharing. All that does is it allows you to leverage, one, that podcast builds your audience for you in the podcast community. 2, it allows you to, when you bring guests in, it allows you to leverage their network as well as leveraging your network. So if you have 10 guests, each one of those 10 guests have 50 faithful followers, then you just added 500 potential followers to your podcast, to your audience, so that you can so that you can talk about the things that you're going over, right? Next is a media tour. A media tour. Why is a media tour important? Everybody knows that people watch the news. There's been stories of people getting famous from one news broadcast. There's a guy in Houston, Mattress Mac. I remember when he first hit the news back in it was like in the 70s. This is telling my age, but it was in the 70s. The guy was on the news. They were interviewing him about I don't know if they were interviewing him about his company, but I remember he had a water cast and he said a gallery furniture really will save you money. And that's kind of where his empire began. Now he has one of the largest furniture stores and furniture chains in the Houston area. So that one beginning in the media space allowed him to leverage that network of thousands of viewers that were watching the news channel. So media is really good. These days, a lot of people are starting and creating their own podcast. Reach out to people that you know that have podcasts. Ask them if you can be a guest. If you don't know anybody that has a podcast, but you listen to different podcasts, reach out to the host and see if they would be interested in it. There are groups for people specifically that have podcasts and that are always looking for guests. See if you can become a guest on one of those podcasts. It would make a huge difference. Radio interviews, radio stations, depending on your topic, depending on your subject, there are radio stations that are looking to bring you on as a guest, as a subject matter expert. Again, leverage that network of the radio viewers and ask them if you can talk just for a few minutes about your book. Talk about the content that they want to talk about, but also leverage it to talk about your upcoming book. And when you talk about your upcoming book, make sure that you have your email list ready for them to actually join. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for having me as a guest. One thing that I really want to get out there is that I'm dropping my next book, and it's about this. For those who are interested, I'm giving away a free giveaway of the first chapter of my book. All you got to do is go to www.mywebsite.com, and you can subscribe to get that free download. People love free giveaways. You'll get a few viewers or a few followers from there. Also, articles are a really good place. If you can connect with different magazines, newspapers, online blog sites, all of those are places that people are looking to and that people follow on a consistent basis. See if you can become a guest blogger. See if you can write an article based on your specialty, or if they want to write an article about you. There are a lot of people that are looking for content right now. I know we see all this content in the world as we speak. We see all these influencers that are instantly made by one viral video, but that one viral video probably took them about 10 to 100 or 1,000 to get to that one viral video. So don't look to instantly go viral, but look to connect with people that already have an audience that is in your target audience, so that when you are on there, you can leverage that network and leverage that exposure. Now, after you've done those media tours, see if you can get that content so that you can post it on your site as well. Share it from their site, but also see if you can get those mini clips, because each one of those mini clips is good exposure for you in the future. And it allows more people to see, oh, wait a minute, they're actually doing some good work, right? And then the last thing is, who do you invite? This one should be a no-brainer, but this one is the hardest thing that I've seen for new and even experienced authors, right? Invite everybody. Invite everybody to your launch. Some people will say, I love what you're doing and I support you. Other people will say, I can't make it because of such and such event, or I can't make it for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. Invite everybody. I don't care if you went to school with them in kindergarten. I don't care if they were your second grade teacher. I don't care if you and them had a fight when y'all were in fourth grade. It doesn't matter. Invite everybody, because you never know who's going to show up and support you and who's not going to show up and support you. I remember on the last launch that we did, I sent over 500 plus invites to people to register for the event. Of that was friends, that was family, that was co-workers, old bosses, old teachers. Not everybody showed up, but guess what? We still did what we needed to do. Everybody was informed of what was going on. When you are marketing yourself, it will feel awkward. It will feel awkward because you're sending a request for someone to come to your event. Don't worry about that. You got to get over that awkwardness and actually make the effort, because if they don't know, they don't know. A lot of people don't support you, not because they don't want to, but because they don't know how. So make sure you invite everyone. So let's go back over that list really quick, and then I got a couple of announcements real quick. Before you launch your next book, you want to build your audience by letting your friends, family, and coworkers know. A simple, hey, I'm getting ready to launch a project is enough. Build your audience in groups. Create a strong email list. Drop content on a consistent basis. It should be at least every day, the 2 weeks prior to your event, so that people know that it's coming. You want to drop live videos. You want to drop social media posts that are branded, that have an image of your book, maybe even an image of you as the author holding your book. You can even drop a podcast. Media tour. How do you create a media tour? Reach out and connect with people that you know that have podcasts, people that are on the radio, people that are on TV, and even writing articles for newspapers and magazines. Those are all important forms of exposure for you prior to your launch. Once your audience is built, you have your email list, you have your friends list, you have your basic cell phone list. When you have all of these things, you invite everyone to the event. Make sure that you leave no stone unturned, because believe me, the people that are passionate about their work invite everyone. They tell everyone. In the old network marketing business, there's a rule, and I used to thrive on this rule. It's called the 3-foot rule, and the 3-foot rule goes something like this: anybody that's within 3 feet of you, which is pretty much arm's length, you need to be talking to them about what it is that you do. You need to introduce yourself. You need to talk to them. You need to say, hey, how are you doing? Ask them, how's their day? Once you get a conversation going, somehow steer the conversation. Ask them about their life, but also let them know what you have going on in yours. You never know who you're going to meet. There are certain people that I've been around, and I say it this way: they've never met a stranger. I have a friend who, every time we used to go out, he would ask someone for a cigarette, and next thing you know, for the next hour and a half, they're sitting there having a conversation, and he's meeting some amazing person just because they smoked a cigarette together. Or even more recently, someone like Miss Nisi, Monica Earl Washington, came to Houston. I never saw her meet a stranger because she introduced herself and talked to everyone. And talk to everybody at a human level. Don't turn your nose up at people. That's not cool, right? So hopefully this helps with your next launch. I pray that you are extremely successful with it. If you definitely want to launch as a #1 bestseller, reach out. We have the resources. We have the blueprint. Like I said, the last over 300 authors, actually 330 authors to date, have all went #1 on Amazon. And so we have a blueprint that works for you. And that #1 bestseller allows you the credibility to walk into different arenas that you probably didn't even know existed. Now, like I said, I do have some announcements for you. As of next week, we'll be launching Bestseller University. And again, Bestseller University, that's bestselleruniversity.net. For those of you who are interested in learning more about how to become a successful author, a successful entrepreneur. We do have pre-enrollment, which is starting today. You can go in and pre-enroll. The first course that we're dropping is a course about writing your book, because I know there's so many of you out there that want to write that book, that have the desire to write a book, but just don't know where to start. Trust me, I understand. I've been there. That was my story. It took me at least 5 years to write my first book. This book, Claim Your Destiny. But after that first book was written, each book after that took me less than a month to write, because there's a proven system that actually works now. Also, for anyone who is interested in getting their books complete, you have the manuscript, you're ready to go. You just need the editing, you need the cover design, and you're ready to launch as a bestseller. Until the end of September, since we launched the Winning Mindset and we hit #1 on all 3 books, what we're doing is a 50% off sale. So if you are interested, go ahead and reach out. You can either hit me in my inbox, in my DMs, or just go to BOBMpublishing.com. Again, that's BOBM, which is short for Business of Books Mastermind Publishing, PUBLISHING.com, BOBM Publishing, PUBLISHING.com. We have a 50% off all month until the end of September. We're looking forward to working with you, and we have some great content that's coming for you. We have some great events coming, including the Winning Mindset Conference, which is going to happen here in Houston, Texas on March 4th, 2023. So make sure you start getting ready. Make sure you start checking in with BOBM. Thank y'all for tuning in for the live. That's all I got for today. Listen, I love y'all to the moon and beyond, and there's nothing you can do about it. Love y'all. Until next time.